Yeah.
Uh-oh, it's a good show.
Yeah, it is.
Coming up.
Ooh, goes the firework.
Culture.com. Vote for JeffMiller.com.
No.
Oh, stop. An umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 1993 Cool Runnings and the 1979 Phantasm, the original. Starring John Candy, Angus Scrim, Dougie Doug, Reggie Bannister, Kathy Lester, Winston Stona,
Why do you pick him? You can't
Leon
say his
Leon
name.
Robinson. Now two guys who sometimes have trouble spelling numbers, like the number 8, A-T-E. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
It's so sad. You are such a sad little individual.
Why?
What the hell is wrong with you today?
Well, I was just know,
you're all excited for
here's a
today's
couple
show.
different things going on.
Because you got to see such a great movie. You are all jazzed up, brother. So, here we go, everybody. And now, for those that are here the first time bots, I'm the vamp and he's the ump. Jeff once walked into a building and refused to run up the stairs, but that would be another story. Jeff, you get that, or do I have to draw you a diagram?
Well, I don't get it. If I ran into a house and I didn't run up the stairs, I don't understand what happened. Why wouldn't I go up the stairs?
It's okay.
It doesn't
we'll
really
explain it later.
It's kind
with,
of it's another
drawings, and I'll give you a doll, and you can point where he touched you.
It's another double negative. It's another double negative. Tim likes to use double negatives in his speech.
That just ain't true.
So here's the thing. Tim's also here doing this podcast.
I am from over here,
and he's the vamp. Apparently, he's been around forever, and he watches sports movies, which he's very lucky with.
See, I can do. Do you want to hear my Jeff impersonation, everybody?
Yes.
Yup. Listen to me now.
It doesn't even sound like me.
It is a perfect like.
But is it like Renfred?
I have not. By the way, it's Renfield.
I won't watch that.
I haven't seen it yet.
It looks scary. I will not see that movie.
You are not even. That is not going to be a scary
Nicholas,
movie.
You don't think he looks terrifying in that movie? In those
Hannah,
previews?
hold on. Hannah is making terrible remarks about my age in the chat room that need to be addressed. The fact is, I'm younger than Jeff.
That is true.
Okay.
I never thought about
so
that.
So we'll just leave it that way.
How many days? Let's do the math. No, we don't have to.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm terrible.
I was doing an impression of Jeff. Hold on, let me do it again. I'm Jeff.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop. Stop.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm Jeff.
That's a terrible impression.
It's right on the beat. Hey,
all right,
what did you give me to watch? I forget.
Cool Runnings. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A great movie. You know what? This is a lot of fun. And
Jamaica Man.
And the thing of it is that I never saw it until I watched it. Yeah. But it's a really good movie. Tim's
it's about the Costa Rican bobsled.
No, it's Jamaica. It's right on there, Tim.
I gave him Phantasm, which is fantastic.
That's not how you spell
and
fantastic.
We're going to hear a lot about... We're not asking you for spelling.
I know. I'm not a very good speller.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
All right. So... what?
But wait.
What
but
now?
you know what, though? Listen.
Now, hold on. Wait a minute. But wait.
The thing of it is, though, Tim, is that people don't really understand unless this is the first time we're watching this. I don't like horror movies, so Tim likes to give me horror movies.
Listen, hold on a second.
And Tim likes all movies, but he doesn't like sports, so I give him sports movies.
Listen.
Tim is just having so much fun repeating everything that I say
listen,
when I don't.
There it is.
Listen. Listen.
Now listen. Hold on a second.
You know you love this part.
Wait.
Now listen. Hold on a second.
It's a top 40 hit. I'm telling you.
It is. This is going to be your
hold on a second.
campaign song for the mayorship. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm going to say things about this movie that if I don't say it, they're not going to be said. But when I say them, you'll know what I'm saying because I'm going to talk about Phantasm. Now, Phantasm.
Are you going to be speaking English during your review?
I did.
Okay.
Now, Okay, so Phantasm is this 1979 movie. Now I'm gonna.
1979. You were alive at the time.
Yeah, I was 11. Here's
Yeah.
the thing, though, real quick. I gotta ask this, and you can say yes or no on, like, in front of everybody.
Okay.
How much of a spoiler can I give this? Just be.
Try not to
Okay,
too much.
very
This
good.
is a classic film.
Okay.
A lot of people revisit.
I just need to know this. I need to know what.
Okay.
Jeff, when I review a movie, there's 3 paths, and sometimes they come down into
three paths.
There's
the
3.
3 paths of Jeff.
Right. And sometimes I go down this one path, and then I look over to the right, and I see a little path going into the middle. And then if I do that, sometimes I give away the ending.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to stay on the left path for a little while. And if I go all the way to the middle, that's not good. But if I go to the right one, I'm still good. So just keep that in mind. 3 paths, we're going down one. All right, Phantasm is a 1979 movie. It's an hour and
Everybody just heard the same thing I did, right? Okay.
it's an hour and 29 minutes, which
129.
thankfully that's how long it is. But the feel that I got,
and it's hours and minutes, by the way.
yeah, hour 29. The
Yeah.
thing is that this movie feels, and we'll get into the movie, but tell me if you feel this as well. This feels like what Quentin Tarantino tried to do with Terror Planet and Death Trap or whatever.
No.
It is. It feels
No,
like.
I totally disagree.
Wait, but you don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
It feels like a drive-in movie. It's very choppy. There's a lot of choppiness to this movie. It doesn't flow. It doesn't flow.
Okay.
There is a beginning, middle, end, but there's a lot of jumps in there where it's like, okay, maybe that person, maybe they cut out a piece of the film and they forgot where they cut it or something. It felt very jumpy to me, Tim.
You're aware that's on purpose, right?
No, now I am.
Okay.
But see,
because the whole movie doesn't feel real.
Right. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about that.
Okay.
So I did a little investigation, which I hardly ever do, but I did.
Okay.
But this guy, the guy that what's his name? Don Coscarelli, right? Is that right?
Don Coscarelli.
There you go. He's the writer and the director. He did both. All right. He'd taken double time. He got paid twice. The thing of it is that he said that this came to him in a dream. This movie is actually started out as a dream, and he produced it into a movie. So I can see why it's so jumpy, because when you dream, you don't dream like all the way through it. There's jumps around.
Jumpy is actually what people described you like while watching the film.
Okay, so yeah, that's the next thing we're going to get into. This movie, so of the movies that Tim has given me this year, this is inning number 7, I think. This was the scariest. This is...
Okay, so you're saying this was scarier than Halloween.
Yeah, I am. I really am.
When you did tell me that this was what you thought was the scariest this season so far, until he sees the fake Exorcist.
I'm not watching that. I'm not going to watch The Exorcist. No double.
Okay.
Doubles.
No double whammy.
No devils.
Oh, no devils.
Yeah. No.
All right, Alice Cooper. But anyway, I was thinking, is this movie more frightening than Halloween?
Yes.
And I think it is because it's more unpredictable.
It is because...
You have no idea where this freaking movie's going.
No, and that's the thing. You do not know where this is going. That's why it's so jumpy. You have a grandma that's... I think she's dead the whole time. I think this is part of Psycho where it just rolls out a grandma. Honest to God, this is one thing I'm like
that's because you were hot for Stargirl there.
I don't know who
this
that
girl that has a little star.
Yeah, I thought maybe she was from the band Kiss. But anyways, she's got the grandma out there, and I'm like this grandma's dead. But then all of a sudden the grandma moves, and I'm like, well, that's not even a spoiler. But then the grandma moves, and I'm like, she's not dead, and that was very creepy. Right. And there is a jump scene in here that
there's a lot of jump scares.
Well, there is, but the first jump scare in this movie will make you you will jump. I don't care who you are. You will jump. That first jump, and it has to do with the tall guy. That was cool. Tim.
Yeah.
Scrim. When that's
Angus Scrim.
The
tall guy.
So Angus Scrim comes out. Now get this. So I'm watching this movie, but I'm not. But I am. What's going on is I start the movie, right? And
right.
Angus Scrim he's talking to me.
Yeah.
And it's like he's telling you kind of about how he got this character, and I'm like, did Tim give me the director's cut? Am I gonna have to watch this stuff all the way through the movie? But I thought
It was just an intro.
I know, but that was really cool. I thought that was pretty cool that he tells a little bit about how he got the part and what he thought he was going to be a foreigner. And yeah, he was a foreigner because he's from another planet. But then listen to this, Tim.
Yeah.
So because he told me that,
Yeah.
I was watching for all sorts of stuff in there. There's some things in there that I kind of want to talk about, but I don't know if I can. But here's the thing. So now back to the movie. So what happens in this movie?
Yes.
Is that basically, from what I can figure out, because it does jump around and it's
Okay, I'm gonna let you off the hook. This movie doesn't make a whole lot of sense in some cases.
okay.
I mean, it is a weird film. Now, I'm told in the sequel, I know some stuff about it because of all the people I've talked to over the years, but I heard in the sequels they kind of make some of it a little bit more clear. But there's a lot of it that doesn't make a ton of sense.
So I saw Phantasm 2. I saw it when it came out because I was going to go on a date and she wanted to see it. So I can only imagine what that night was like for her, me watching that in the movie theater. I'm sure it was probably, that's why I didn't get another date with her.
She probably thought, look at this stud, he peed his pants.
That's probably why I didn't get another date with that chick. But here's the thing.
That wasn't the only reason.
Here's the thing. Listen. There's some really cool stuff in this movie. There's some really cool, like the little minion guys. Those
I don't know what to call them. The dwarves, the killer dwarves.
But those didn't they remind you of? They reminded me of the little guys on Star Wars.
Ewoks?
No.
Oh, Jawas.
Yes, the ones that
Jawas.
took R2D2 in that. And that I thought was pretty interesting. But what was a wicked scene? A wicked scene. So where's that picture of that little black thing? That little creature? Where is it?
We call them African Americans. What are you
That
doing?
creature, you'll see it.
Okay.
It comes out. So what happens? I can tell this. So they cut off Angus and Scrim's finger, all right, and they put it in a box, and it's sitting in there, right?
They put it in a cardboard box. They put it in a box. They put it in a cardboard box because he's a living. You don't remember the song "Living in a Box"?
No.
What's wrong with you?
No, but listen to this though.
Right.
So they put it in there. And I'm gonna get to
Put
this.
it in a box.
I'm gonna get to the spear in just a second.
Okay.
But they put it in this box, and it turns into.
You meant to say sphere, of course.
What did I say?
Spear.
Well, it travels like a spear.
Okay.
And it has spears out of it, little prongs.
Okay.
But okay, so now let me calm down here because people are watching this and they're like,
and
Jeff,
they're like, he doesn't
slow down.
Well, the problem is you're a little bit of a scaredy cat.
I was a scaredy cat during this movie. I am not gonna lie. So this finger is in this box, and I could have figured this was gonna happen, but I wasn't sure, but it did. It grew into something, and I'm stalling for that little picture to show up. But it turns into this wicked little, like, minion, little black, little, like a demon. And
it turns into a Xanthi misfit for our fans of
is that a
Outer
real
Limits.
thing?
Yeah.
So that's what this felt like. This felt like a Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah.
Like a Twilight Zone show, but really long.
The word I use most often to describe this is either eerie or nightmare-esque.
Yes, both
Because
of those.
It feels like a
Tim.
waking dream.
Tim, the music in this was great for the movie, but it was awful for me. I was having such a hard time watching this movie because it was one of the scariest ones, and it wasn't stupid scary like Bone Collector. I hated that. The Collector, I hated that one.
Yeah.
But that was scary, and The Conjuring, that was scary. But this was scary on another level, Tim. This was scary on a very different level.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so back to those. I haven't seen the thing pop back up, but back to those little.
I don't think I actually have a picture.
Where did I see it then? Okay, so
in the movie. Do you remember watching the movie?
yes. So
or
this,
did you block it all out?
I had Tango. I was fine. So they caught this thing. I thought this was really great.
Just like Tango, get the tall man.
I thought the cool thing about this scene, I think, was the best scene of the whole movie.
Okay.
They catch this thing in
Yeah.
what is it called? Just tell me what it's called. The
A
black thing.
finger.
No, the black thing that turns into the...
I call it a Xanthi misfit.
Okay.
It looks like a fly with teeth.
Okay, so this fly with teeth,
Yeah.
they catch it, and they stick it in the garbage disposal. They turn the garbage disposal on, whatever. But before they get that, they caught it, and that kid, the Michael Baldwin, the guy who kept Mike as his name in the movie, which I thought was strange, he's going down the stairs, and he's like, the thing is like tearing back and forth, and it was kind of cool because it made you think that this fly with teeth was actually that strong, tearing him down the stairs. I thought that was really cool. Go ahead. No? All right. So anyways, and then
I'm still thinking, you think that's weird, but there's also a guy named Reggie that plays a guy named Reggie.
I was just going to get to that.
In the movie. I mean, there's a lot of that in this.
So that Reggie guy, you know, I was watching this movie.
Mr. Good Humor.
Okay, I can tell you this. So this Kathy Lester, the one who plays the lady in lavender.
Yeah.
All right. Her and some guys.
She don't wear that lavender all that much.
No. Well, actually, she used a stunt double. She did not want to be seen on stage with nothing on, so she used a stunt double.
Okay.
So if that's part of your trivia, you can take it out. But anyways, she is actually the tall man. Okay, that's worth saying. You know, she turns into tall man. You'll find that out right away.
Everybody, if you scroll back about 10 minutes in tonight's show, remember when Jeff asked, "Can I do spoilers?"
But I didn't spoil that.
And my answer was, no. We all remember that.
I stayed on the left path.
Keep going.
But no, but Tim, that's not really a spoiler.
Going.
It's not a spoiler because I'm not going to tell you what I think about Reggie.
Okay.
So and the thing of it is that this happens so quick in the movie that it doesn't really affect you. You're like, okay, they're getting it on. Turns into the guy kills him, whatever. So whatever. But that doesn't really hurt the show. That doesn't hurt the show.
Right.
It doesn't because it's so crazy. Everything. This show is a little bit like me reviewing a horror movie. It's all over the place, okay?
Yes, it is.
And I can understand that. I can appreciate that. But those spears, no, they're not a spear because that's not pronouncing it right. It's a sphere.
A sphere.
A sphere.
You can call it a baseball.
It's like a lot like a baseball. Actually,
so this
Tim,
really should have counted as the sports movie.
Actually, Tim, you know how they shot those scenes? They actually threw the sphere and then they played it in reverse. Mm-hmm. That's how they made those scenes.
Yeah.
Are you pretty impressed with me knowing that?
Yeah. Did you know who threw it?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I do. As soon as you could, I'll say no so that you ask me a trivia.
Okay.
So anyways, so what this turns out to, and then what bothered me a lot, Tim, about this movie is that they spent, let's be honest. If all this stuff is happening to you, why do you keep going back to the mausoleum and going back to the what's the place called? The funeral home and all that. Why do you keep going back there? Why don't you just get the hell out of town? What is the big...
Because it's good times.
No.
Good times.
I would never have gone
Hang
back
out. You meet the little people.
Tim, I would never have gone back there.
You're not an accepting person. You don't like little people. That's kind of mean.
Midgets?
Yeah, you brought them up before on this show.
I've partied with midgets before. I've done shots with midgets.
But for some reason, you don't like them.
No, that's not true. But why would you keep going? And then the older brother keeps telling Mike, "Hey, don't follow me." What? Mike, I'm going to follow you. He follows him.
Is there a single time in the movie where he says, "Don't follow me," and he doesn't follow him?
No.
So wouldn't you start saying, "Please follow me closely. Step right next to me," because I'm thinking, he's a teenager, so he might say, "Then now I'm not going to follow him."
Oh, it could be just to do the opposite. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. This is
the best.
This movie is really it's I don't want to say fun. It's unique. This is a unique movie because
it is batshit crazy. That's what you want to say.
Yeah, but
you
I don't
swear.
I don't swear.
Right. You don't fucking swear.
Here's the deal. But then that thing too. What is that all about? It's the sphere pokes him in the head and starts spitting out blood.
Well, if you just get hit by a chrome ball without any spears or spikes coming out of it, then you just have a headache.
Here's the thing.
I got hit in the head.
Here's the thing. When I saw 2, That's the only thing I remember about too.
Yeah.
Is the sphere?
They-
It was following
it-
people. It was
Now,
following people.
Take a look at the tall man, right?
Yeah.
He's got so many guys working for him.
He does.
He's got so many guys. The sphere is only one of his bag of tricks. He has so many different things going on. I mean, he's super strong. You got the little fly with the teeth.
Those
You
are
got the
weird.
dwarves. You got, they grows his hand back and all this stuff that he can do. But everybody talks about that sphere. They do.
I know. But here's
What
the
it
thing.
is.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
So he had all these people working for him.
Right.
But then,
But,
okay,
but he did not put in the proper tax
But
paperwork, which Jeff is upset about because he says, really, it's already April 20th. They should have filed an extension.
it's true.
This would make as much sense as your sports stuff where the scores don't show up. So I thought I'd mention it.
That's fine. And then the tuning fork. I thought that was so weird. When they get down, they start jamming. Who sits down?
They can play.
Who's sitting on their porch with that hat on? I saw that hat and I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
they
who's
have
sitting with that hat? And all of a sudden, Ice Cream Man comes down. But I told Debbie, you know what? That's my wife. I told Debbie, you know what? I think I want to get an ice cream truck. Wouldn't that be cool? But one like that, not like
Mayor ice cream.
I could get a
Mayor
lot
ice
of
cream.
a lot of votes with being an ice cream man.
Sure.
But anyways, didn't you like the truck that he had for the ice cream? That
It
was
wasn't high enough off the ground, obviously. You need to put things so high off the ground that it's a team lift to get you.
And then
into
how
the
about when he puts the
vehicle.
dead body in there? He's like, it's not going to get all over my ice cream, is it?
That was a great line.
That was.
I love that.
That was.
All right, we're
I'm just gonna
getting
say,
close.
I'll wrap
Yeah.
it up. So this movie is worth a watch. If you've never seen Phantasm, I don't know if you're going to watch the other ones, but at least give this a shot and take a shot while you're watching it. You would probably like to drink a little bit.
Yeah.
I did not, by the way. I did not. But it's worth watching. So you want to get my little review, right?
Yeah, give me a number.
Do you have an idea?
I was surprised to hear you say, yeah, you should give it a watch. Because I didn't know. This is a movie that is very polarizing.
Like Brett Favre.
People love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 8.
Well, I didn't give you my number yet.
I'm telling you, that's what I'm thinking your number
No,
is.
I'm not. It's not an 8. It's a 7.
A 7. That's all right.
It's a 7. It's worth watching. I mean, I wasn't pissed that I watched it. I wasn't upset that I watched it.
I think that's pretty much what you gave Halloween. Was kind of like a
Probably.
7 or 8.
But let me just
But this one scared you more.
this one scared me more, but the thing of it
Okay.
is I've come to the point where I can appreciate being scared if it's a decent movie. And this is a decent movie and I was scared. Collector was not a decent movie and I was scared and I hated it. So
I can't wait till someday I'm going to introduce you to the guys that wrote that. They
Yeah.
come to these things once in a while.
So I gave it a
Yeah,
7.
A 7, everybody.
Yep.
You know what time it is, though, Jeff?
I get more time.
Do you know what time it is?
Tired for mayor of Muskego.
Hey, it's time to scare everybody away from the show. Here we go. The
What?
sports.
Oh, there's
It's
my music.
sports time.
I want to change the music, I think. I don't know. Anyways,
You don't have a choice, so you can go ahead and think that.
I got 2 big things to talk about today on the Jeff Miller's. What was this? The Jeff Miller Sports
No,
segment?
it's just otherworldly
Oh.
culture sports in case I want to replace you.
Oh. All right. Well, otherworldly culture sports with yours truly, Jeff Miller.
For now.
The Brewers are riding a. Yeah, for now. Until I become mayor, then I'm.
my
then I'm
God.
blowing this popcorn
Yeah,
stand.
let me tell you, that's never going to happen. Go ahead.
The Brewers are riding a 4-game winning
The
streak.
Brewers, that's that one.
They took 7 of 10 games on their West Coast road trip. They swept the Mariners, and they did that with a 5-3 win yesterday in Seattle. They open a 9-game series starting tomorrow against the Boston Red Sox.
Wow.
They are currently on top of the National League Central with a 14-5 record. That is pretty amazing considering they have probably one of the worst managers in Major League Baseball, Craig Counsell. The Bucks. That's not a flag. The Bucks. The Bucks even their first round playoff series with a win last night against the Miami Heat, 138 to 122. The series now moves down to South Beach on Saturday night. Here's a quick little fact, this little trivia fact for you. The Bucks scored 81 points in the
You
first.
probably shouldn't call them fat. They're athletes.
What did I say?
You said the Bucks are fat.
No.
I heard you.
Well, if I said fat, I meant PHAT, fat.
Okay.
Anyways, here's a fact for
Yeah.
you.
All right.
The Bucks scored 81 points in the first half last night, and you think, wow, that's a lot of points. The record, I had to look this up. The record for points in the first half of any basketball game was by the Phoenix Suns. They scored 107 points in 1990 in the first half of a basketball game in 24 minutes. And that's without a single three-point shot.
Really?
And I'm Jeff Miller,
And you're not.
and that's the sports, and that's, wait.
That's all you know.
And that's all I. No, that's not how it goes. It goes something
You
like.
don't remember how you close your thing, do you?
And that's the sports I know. I'm Jeff Miller. For otherworldly culture sports, when I get replaced. I don't know. Whatever. Let's go on to Cool Runnings, or let's look at some merch.
What? I can't believe it. I worked on getting this ready for
How does
you.
that go? How's it go? And that's all the sports I know. No, that doesn't sound
That
right.
is right,
I
actually.
love First Madness. Yay!
Mike's mom is great.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, guess what, kids? Here it comes. We will return you to the regularly scheduled program in just a moment.
Let's make some merch money.
Dead on the Bases
Oh, I see it.
has I've seen this before. Get this high-quality, durable garment at our store or a fine partner location. Get our classic and classy tees that really shine, worn out on their own. And what else do we have coming in the line?
I'm thinking about getting coasters, and I'm thinking about getting tumblers, like Yetis. I don't know, man. I think we got a market going. I don't know.
As always, Jeff, you are so right. Get this fabulous product now at a location near you. Dead on the Bases, when you care and when you are.
Open it up Muskego style.
Woohoo!
Galaxy Games.
Galaxy Games was
That was
awesome.
that was a good time in all of our lives.
They
you know
were
that.
awesome. It's the truth.
Go play some video games and go check out
Yeah.
our next rated movie.
So, hey, and remember, everybody, to like and subscribe
Yeah,
to the show.
Oh,
What?
did you put up my email address before?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I didn't see it. All right.
Okay, it's Jeff at Otherworldly Culture, everybody. So, everybody just calm down. Poor Jeff. All right,
Oh,
here's
one more
mine
thing.
now. What?
One more-
Okay.
oh, that's
yeah.
Tim's.
Go ahead and.
I don't know
distract
about you, but
everybody.
As
It's
of
only me.
yesterday, I have to actually clean out my inbox.
You had to
It was
clean out
full.
your-
It was full. I couldn't. So if you were trying to
What
get in,
was it full of? Crap.
no, there's a lot of requests for merch, talking about
Lot of
certain
requests
movies,
for
little
merch.
trivia. So what I
Okay.
did, people, is I answered all of them. I cleaned it out so that if anybody's trying to get in yesterday, you can get back in again.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, go ahead.
All
John.
right.
I will not interrupt anymore.
Yeah. All right. So, everybody, guess what? I watched Cool Runnings.
Yay.
So that happened. The director is John Turteltaub. He is probably best known for doing the National Treasure movies.
Those are good.
He's done a lot of comedies. He's worked for Disney approximately forever. The music is done by Hans Zimmer. He does like all the big movies since the 90s. He does a ton of them. When John Williams isn't the person, or Danny Elfman, it's generally Hans Zimmer doing these scores of big movies. This movie stars, it stars John Candy. Yes, there are other, Leon is top billed, but John Candy is the star of the movie. I'm sorry, and I'm going to go into why I think that. But it's a relatively restrained role for him. It isn't as over the top as some of his performances. It was actually kind of playing the straight man through a lot of it, letting the other actors be the funny ones, because he was very much, when people first heard about the Jamaican, I should tell the story. The story is about the Jamaican bobsled
True
team
movie. True.
in the Olympics. And a lot of people laughed about that because they're coming from a place where it has never seen snow. And it's like, how are they going to compete in a snow event? So John Candy was really taking the place of every human being on the face of the planet going, what are we thinking here? So it's that was his role, and he does it very well. John Candy steals every scene he's in. This is not John Candy's best movie, though. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles remains his best movie.
I agree.
But he does a good job with this. For the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie, you think the movie is about Leon, as character Leon's playing, who is sprinting, and he doesn't make it as a sprinter for various reasons, which I'm not going to spoil. Unlike, some people like to spoil stuff on the show. Yeah,
I'm glad you stopped me because I almost told why.
Yeah, exactly. But he pivots to start a bobsled team at that point. There are entire portions of this film that you forget that Leon's even in it. It's a shame because I really liked the character he was building. The character that he had was very upbeat, doesn't let anything take him down because not making the Olympics should bum anybody out. And he's like, no, we're going to do this now. Very upbeat, very optimistic, a very happy. And you can do a comedic character on somebody that's just hopelessly optimistic, particularly since it doesn't look like this should work. So you can always look at him and go, he's nuts, or, oh, what is he on? They never do that. And it's like, you had a good comic character. And I am going to say, a humorous character. Remember where the term humor comes from. Humor are the four humors that come from Greek dramatics. And like, if somebody is low on the humor of blood, they're sanguine. That means they're unusually sad all the time. Here is a character that's unusually happy all the time. So you could do something with it. And you just kind of let that go by. So I'm kind of like, they decided about 15 minutes in, well, everybody knows who John Candy is. Well, for modern viewers, they might say this is another one of those white savior movies. That is unfortunate because really the story is carried by the four men of the bobsledding team. But John Candy is just so good at stealing scenes, it should be illegal. And they take a perfectly good character and basically bury him. I noticed something that I'm sure Jeff noticed, so I have to bring it up. At one point, they have a meeting in a revolving restaurant at the top.
Yeah.
And it doesn't revolve at all. It stays perfectly stationary during the entire scene. Yeah. Is that something that was bothering you?
Of course.
Okay, I figured.
There's a lot that bothers me.
Yeah. There is a lot in this movie. Has a great deal of extras that do this here. Like looking into the lens, just, that's a camera. I mean, like, what the hell is going on? Somebody take your extras aside and say, you can look anywhere. But don't look at the camera, so they'll just stare right in.
Unless you're breaking the fourth wall.
Okay. Let's talk about this. They had 3 months to prepare for a world competition.
I know, that's amazing.
We hear about this all the time. Every time there's an Olympics.
That's amazing.
Somebody gets seriously injured or killed. I believe every time I know of that somebody has died at the Olympics, it's been bobsledding. It has not been luging, which seems more dangerous, or the ridiculously insane skeleton.
Skeleton's awesome. I would do the
It's
skeleton.
always bobsled. And I'm like, so they said, 3 months, we're good to go. Are they insane?
I think the bobsled, because it just weighs so much, the sled itself, I think that's why you die.
No, roll back. The important question, are they insane?
They're Jamaican.
What the hell does that mean?
No problems, man. Everything's good, man.
Crazy. And
problem.
okay, and I think they're at least a little bit scary or nuts because no murder in this one. I should point that out. But I should point it out. People are wondering if there's any murder in it. There's no murder. But they do not have one stupid name of a character. They come up with 2 joke names. One of the bobsled team is Yul Brenner, and the other one is Sanka Coffee. Please. Please. Are you kidding me? Now, this movie does not lack for montages. Even though it is technically a 1990s film, it still has montages, so they hadn't given up on the 80s just yet. Now, I got questions, and you are my expert in sports. They take times with bobsledding, right?
Yeah.
And the less time it takes, the better you did.
Yeah.
Correct?
Huh?
What the hell are the judges for? Why are they judges? Oh, we got to perform well for the judges. No, you don't. You just have to not cheat.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So why are they judges? They're not judges. They're officials.
They're officials, yes.
They're not judges. There isn't somebody saying, that was a 4.3. No, they're
you're
not. Right?
You're right. You're right.
Idiotic. Like all these sports teams, all these sports movies, it's always, oh, here's an underdog. They're going to find some coach that doesn't know what he's doing, and they're going to somehow compete with people that have been working their whole life to get to where they are. The only thing this movie was missing was drugs and some illegal gambling.
And that's because
it would have been a full sports movie.
It's because it's a Disney movie, so they couldn't have it. They had a perfect
They're
opportunity.
Jamaican. They could have done the drugs.
They could have done not
They could have done the drugs.
Not a Disney movie.
You know, if there's 4 Jamaicans and they're like, hey, man, we should get in the bobsledding team. You know they were hitting something,
Well,
okay?
you
know they were on it.
You know how ironic that we're doing this movie
They
today?
were on it with the Chronic.
Today's 420.
I know. I'm aware of it. The one that made the tax joke earlier. Okay, so.
Well, that's not because of taxes.
Now, one thing I will say, and this was
What are you
good.
talking about?
This is good directing. For the important qualifying run that
Yes.
they show, I don't know if you noticed this, but they completely removed the score. They just did sound effects of them going down, and it was very intense because of the way they shot that.
Yeah.
Later on, every time they're running their bobsled, you hear the steel drum and like, hey, buddy, what you do? I thought I was going to hear them. I thought somebody was going to say, you got to kiss the girl. Of course, they can't sing that anymore. But, you know, they put that in there. It was such a, hey, man, no worries type of musical score throughout the movie. And then they just stop everything for that. That was very good. Also, I want to point out, I did have a sighting of an athlete smoking just before competing. That is always a good thing. That did add 1 to the entire score for the movie.
Whatever. You gave it
did.
Whatever.
It brought it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, the slow clap.
That was ridiculous.
There is a slow clap that. Now, I say that,
Tim,
and people are like,
ridiculous.
Tim, you're ruining the movie because it happens, near the end. I'm sorry. You know it's a sports movie. There's going to be the frickin' slow clap in there. And by the way, I have to explain this for Hannah. That doesn't mean that somebody caught a venereal disease. What I'm saying is somebody very slowly started clapping, and then everybody starts clapping. I'm sorry. I didn't fall for it. I thought it was stupid.
The slow clap
when they're
was dumb.
carrying a sled out like a dead man. That's not intelligent use of sled movement.
I think they did that for comedic effect because...
No, I think they did it because they were dumb.
Because what
and they're like, Isn't there somebody with some ropes around here?
But in real life, they didn't do that. In real life, they just walked next to the sled as they walked to the finish line.
Which
Just
makes
so you
me
know.
feel better for them.
Just so you know.
Because then I can go, well, they did have some intelligence. They were smoking themselves out of their minds.
See,
They okay.
There's Olympic drug testing. They couldn't have been smoking any weed.
Oh, it's impossible. The Russians never had anybody with any drugs in their system compete.
Okay, Tim.
I understand. Okay, what's the deal with the egg?
I don't know. I was going to ask you.
What's the deal with this egg?
Is that a real egg? I mean, no. But I mean, were we supposed to think that it was a real egg? Were we supposed to think it was a real egg?
I don't know what was wrong
I didn't
with
get that.
And did you notice the Trogdor? I watched this with Trogdor. He goes, that egg never paid off. You would have thought at some point something happens with the egg that it made no sense. Throughout the entire movie, it was just like, oh, he kisses the egg.
Yeah.
What? It didn't pay off. There should have been, it should have either broke at some point.
Right.
Or he throws the egg and it bounces, or, to prove that it isn't, I just like, what the hell? Or he eats the egg. I mean, it just never pays off. It just kind of continues. I didn't get that. Also, I did have a conversation question here.
Oh, for me?
At one point, yes.
Oh,
At
good.
one point, they get off the airplane.
Yeah.
And he takes one step outside and he goes, oh no. And he puts on every piece of clothing he has.
Yeah.
Dougie Doug.
Yeah.
Sanka Coffee. All right. Does this. Have you ever, because you've traveled to warm locations and then back here.
Yes.
Have you ever had to do the airport change?
No.
Oh my God.
No, I
I've
never
done
have.
this so often.
I just man up. I just don't do it. I don't. But do you know what they have at Mitchell Airport now? You can actually check your coat. You can go there with a heavy coat on, check it, come back, and when you come back, you uncheck your coat and you take your coat.
How much do they charge you for that? $30 a day?
I never did it, so I don't know. But yeah, they have that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad they have that. But by the same token, I can't imagine if they would say it's $2.
Well, it probably is. They're not going to charge you a lot of money for that.
I think they are. They're looking for money. Everybody's looking to steal money from Tim.
Hannah ditched you.
She did?
Yeah, 20 minutes ago.
Hurts me.
See, the thing that bothers me about that is she ditched us for her boyfriend. Her boyfriend should be watching the show with us. With her.
Right. We did get a new viewer tonight. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to tell you a little bit about the horror movie connections on this.
Okay.
As usual, I'll bring them up here and you try to guess if they've had horror movies.
Yep.
We're going to start with Mr. John J.C. Candy.
I'm gonna say no because I can only think of Plane, Trains, and Automobiles and Great Outdoors. And
By the way, remember, he has a
1941.
sports connection. Does everybody know the sports connection with John Candy?
I do.
What is it?
Well, he played high school football and he owned the Toronto Argonauts
That was what I was going to say.
Yeah,
He
see,
owned one of the Canadian football leagues.
with Wayne Gretzky.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
I doubt they could afford it. They have a lot of
Anyways,
money.
did he have any? I don't think so. Did he?
He did actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on. He was in
Little
1941.
Shop of Horrors.
That's not a
He
horror
was in.
movie.
It's a musical horror movie.
Nah.
But he also was in one called The Clown Murders. It was
What?
his first film.
What?
Yes.
Holy balls.
It was either like his first or second film. I think it might have been a TV movie. Or it just didn't make a lot of money and went out on TV. It's supposed to be really bad. Which I can't imagine because I just John Candy brightens everything he's in.
Do you think?
By
he was a clown?
the way, Cool Runnings is the last movie he saw premiere. He died of his heart attack shortly after this film. And I think it's really sad because he obviously was still doing good stuff. Now, if you see Wagons East and some of the stuff that got released after he passed away, you kind of go, ugh. But John Candy always was like that. He took a lot of movies and he made it better, but sometimes the material he was given was just absolutely
Great Outdoors is one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love
I got to try that. Okay, here's Leon. Do you think he had any horror movie?
Well, if
credits?
you have him up there, I'm sure he did. He looks like he could be like a devil or something.
Well, he was in the movies Spirit Lost and Soul Survivor and the movie I will be giving you later on. This is the one I knew without looking up. Bats from 1999 with Lou Diamond Phillips.
Bats?
He was in this movie. Is about, guess what? A bunch of bats attacking people. It's actually a better than it sounds movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed a great deal. Then we have Dougie Doug, who played Sanka.
Were the main characters, were they really Jamaican? Do they really have, or were they pretending?
Yeah, somebody was supposed to be looking up trivia. I wish I knew who that was. I'm not supposed to be reviewing all the trivia. I just tell the stuff I know.
Okay.
Online.
Go ahead.
But I think some of them probably were.
Because I know
but
Eddie
haven't
Murphy
really-
tried out for one of these spots.
Yeah, I think this was one of those movies that a lot of people were rumored to be a part of at some point. Because it came out not too long after the actual event. It was a hot, wow, this is a story.
Yep.
Right
Let's
off.
do it. Let's get her done.
Right off the boat. Okay. So,
Dougie Doug.
oh, the chat room is correcting me. Nothing But Trouble was also a horror movie John Candy was in.
Oh, that one.
So, oh God, I should. If you ever piss me off, I'll assign that one to you. Okay, Dougie Doug. He has Eight-Legged Freaks, which is a giant spider film, and he made Dr. Giggles just before he made this movie, which I like quite a bit. It's interesting.
Mr. Giggles, is that like about a ventriloquist doll? That's what I
It's
would think it is.
Dr. Giggles. It's about a crazy doctor.
Oh, that's not.
Raul D. Lewis. He was in the Hybrids family and Bite-Sized Halloween, the TV series. These are more recent films that he's been doing, so not at the beginning of his career, but let's face it, at the end. Malek Yoba.
Yul
Now,
Brynner.
he's Yul Brynner. So, being Yul Brynner, that would put him in the Hall of Fame because of Westworld.
Right.
But this guy has something like 90 plus credits. He
does?
did an episode of The Twilight Zone. He did a Walking Dead video game voice. Both since Cool Runnings. But he really doesn't have a lot of horror. He does a lot of like television appearances. He does a lot of like being a badass
Okay.
type of things. So, but he has had a long career. Raymond J. Barry. You recognize him here. He was one of the judges. This guy is a classic character actor. He also always plays the jerk. He's always the jerk. He has been in a surprising amount of horror movies. Christmas Evil, Tales from the Crypt. He did an episode. Flight of the Living Dead. Many more. He has over 100 credits, but only 6 horror credits, which, if you take 127 credits that he has, divided by 6, that means every 21st movie would be a horror movie. That's his horror movie connection ratio.
Wow.
That's a new statistic. And let's give that another shot with our next one, Peter Outerbridge. I knew this guy. He usually plays a hothead or somebody arrogant. He's kind of a character actor too. He had 136 credits. He actually has more credits than Raymond J. Barry. 16 are horror for him, giving him an 8.5 ratio, which is much higher than Raymond J. Barry's ratio. He was on the TV show Millennium for multiple eps. He was on Nightmare Cafe, another TV show. And of course, he did his stint on The Outer Limits, though I'm not sure if he's Canadian or not. Usually that's part of it. And the major horror films he's been involved in was Land of the Dead and Saw 6. He was in both of those, which are major properties. A lot of times I get to these and you're like, I've never heard of these things.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. This one you're going to know. Do you know who I'm putting up there? That
I
is
don't
the
know.
director. That's John Turteltaub.
All right.
He just came out very recently with a horror film, The Meg.
Oh.
He directed The Meg. So a serious amount for a comedy in the 90s, a serious amount of horror movie crossover on there. So it is time now for me to give my score.
Yep.
Okay. And the score is, I enjoyed the movie a great deal. I was going to give it a 7. But as you recall, there was a cigarette smoking athlete. So it gets an 8.
An 8.
It gets an 8.
Ah.
Which is a lot more than I should be giving any sports film, because
Whatever.
there was absolutely, without a doubt, throughout the film, I watched it slowly, no murder. Now, the thing I will say, this is one of the best paced sports movies I've
good.
watched in a while.
Good, I'm glad you...
I didn't fall asleep at any point, didn't have to stop it and come back. It just boop, 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 and you're right through the movie. It goes very well.
It wasn't like 2 hours?
I think it was hour 40 or something like that. What was it say on the IMDb?
Oh, 138.
Yeah, 140. Yeah.
No, 138. We're not rounding up unless... We're not rounding up unless...
we're going to round your ass
We're
up.
not rounding up unless you're counting my votes for mayor.
Oh, my God. You're going to need every one of them. So, ladies and gents, it is that time. It is time for us to do just a little bit. Well, come on. There we go. Of the trivia. Now, the way we do the trivia, I read 3 items. Jeff tries to figure out which of the trivia items I tell him is a lie. Jeff does the same. It's worth 5 points if you get it right. If you get it wrong, you get a big stinkeroo 0. Zero. So, you get ready for that what?
Or if you're like in Europe, you get a euro.
A euro? Isn't that thing the Greeks eat?
Yeah, GYROS's.
Okay. That's what I thought. I learn things every time.
Here we go.
Are you going first?
Yeah, I'll ask you first.
Okay, because there's no way you're going to get mine, so that's the thing. Let me, because you always accuse me of cheating.
Oh, that's right. I never.
I'm going to take the chat room.
I've
and
never
put
accused you of that
somewhere
ever.
else.
Never done that.
Yeah,
you know
you
that.
always do. So, okay, tell me your trivia. We'll see how easy this is.
Cool Runnings, the movie, is known in Norway as Cold Buttocks.
Okay.
The Jamaican bobsled team,
Yeah.
they competed in 8 Winter Olympics, including the 1988 one, okay? And they have won 1 medal, a bronze, in 2002, which is the same amount as cycling medals that they've won in the Summer Olympics, won in 1980 in Moscow. And Pauly Shore is connected to John Candy through Dougie Doug, who played Sanka Coffee in Cool Runnings and starred with Pauly Shore in Kid and Play Class Act.
Okay, the first one, Cold Buttocks, sounds too good to not be true. So even if that turns out to be the false one, I'll feel better saying that one's true because
Okay.
it makes me feel better about the world.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to say that one's true.
Yep.
So that leaves me with the Pauly Shore connection. Or what was the middle one again?
Or Jamaica has the same number of...
Oh, the medals?
Yes.
There was a lot of detail in that one. You put a lot of detail in there. But I think you're lying about Pauly Shore because you like lying about Pauly Shore because he's such a talented individual. I'm going to say Pauly Shore is the lie. Give me my 5 points.
Take a big 0.
Oh!
Pauly Shore actually was in Kid and Play Class Act. So,
But Dougie Doug wasn't.
yes, he was. He
Well,
was in
then
it.
John Candy is connected.
I
through
did. I
Dougie
said they're
Doug.
connected. Yeah. That's the false one is the Winter Olympics.
But I told you it was false.
No, you said that this one was false. Don't do that to me. I put so much
I
time.
almost got
Now,
it.
Here's the
I
thing.
almost got it, everybody.
So I have to
him.
give props out right now.
No, that was a
Okay,
good one.
give me
That
a-
was a good one.
Give me a second on this because you got to give me a minute on this.
Sure. All right.
We get our pizza from the local, the best pizza place in Muskego, okay? So Justin up there, he takes good care of me, so is Christy. Justin and I are talking about Dead on the
Ooh,
Bases.
Justin and Christy.
Yeah, Christy's awesome, and then Justin and I, we usually have a nice little shot beforehand. But
We could tell.
so we're talking about. He doesn't know that I do Dead on the Bases. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Unbelievable.
I go, "You know what? I got this podcast that I do every week called Dead on the Bases." He goes, "What movies are you reviewing?" So I told him, and as soon as I told him about Cool Runnings, he said, "Dougie Doug." He says he was in Kid and Play Class Act, and I'm like, all right. So I did that. So all of a sudden I'm like, Pauly Shore was in that. I go, connect the dots. I'm winning this week. I said to myself, I'm going to win this week.
Good for you.
There you go.
Good for you.
So thank you, Justin and Christy. Thank you both, and thank you, the local, for the great pizza that we feast on every second week.
Every second week. That's right. All right. So, Phantasm, are you ready?
I'm ready to get my 5 points.
Okay. Kathy Lester, The Lady in Lavender. Her only feature film credits are in the Phantasm franchise.
Okay.
Only movies she's made have all been Phantasm or one of the sequels. Don Coscarelli has a daughter, Chloe, that is a famous vegan chef.
What does it have to do with
And-
the movie at all?
The director is Don Coscarelli. The director, Don Coscarelli, has a daughter, Chloe, that is a famous vegan chef. And the last one is Reggie Bannister co-wrote the theme music for the film. That music that haunted your dreams.
Yeah.
So, Kathy Lester, only feature film credit is Phantasm movies. That's the first one. Director Don Coscarelli has a daughter, Chloe, that is a famous vegan chef. And Reggie Bannister co-wrote the theme music for the film.
All right, so here's how this shakes out. All right, so Kathy Lester. So the key in this question right here is you put feature film. So that means that she could have done some stuff on the side, like some TV shows. So that's what I'm thinking. You're gonna try to catch me on that.
Okay.
Don Carciola has a daughter named.
Carciola,
Oh,
okay.
you know, I know the wrong one right now because you put that damn Choli in there, or Chloe,
Chloe.
and you know how much I hate that word. So you know that's a trigger. You know that's a trigger. So you're thinking that.
Okay, if I started worrying about your triggers, I would never get the show done.
And then Reggie Bannister, I know that he did some music in this.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be. No, he co-wrote the theme music. Wait, so what's the theme music? Is that the music throughout the whole movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, because
what
there's
are
some
you
real
talking about?
bands in there too. So he didn't
The
co-wrote
theme music.
like the intro stuff.
I don't remember what the
But I mean-
intro. That electronic score you keep
Okay,
hearing
yeah,
throughout
okay,
the
I get
film.
you now. I get you. All right.
That's
All right. So
the theme music.
So right now,
he's trying to get me to talk more. and
no.
more about
So
this
but the
stuff.
Choli
He
thing.
does his it's Chloe.
Yeah, but you know how much I hate that word.
Oh my god.
So I think you want to, but by doing that, you're thinking that's going to trigger him to say that's the false one. So
If I wanted to trigger you, I would have used the Pauly.
oh my
Shore
gosh,
right
Bette
here.
Midler, I do not want to watch her. Okay, so okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, he was once again distracted by the IMDb page.
Kathy Lester. So that's going to be true. Chloe's going to be true.
We are 5 minutes over
Reggie
already.
Bannister is going to be true, but they can't all be true. So which one's false? So Don Costioli has a famous vegan chef for a daughter. So that's going to be true, okay? Because you want me to say that's false. Reggie Bannister, I know he did some music in this, but is it considered the theme music? And then Kathy Lester. So could she only have done Phantasm movies? I'm trying to think.
Wake
Okay,
me up when it's
Kathy
over.
Lester is going to be the false one.
What?
Kathy Lester is false.
Are we done?
Yes.
You think that's the one that's false?
Kathy Lester's false.
The chick with breasts didn't get any other job.
Well, the chick that had the breast was a stunt double, but Kathy Lester.
Why am I not lusting over her then?
Kathy Lester is false. It's false. Give me my
False?
5 points. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's
Jeff
what
is
I'm
correct.
talking about.
That
Yes.
is correct. Her
Yes, yes,
only
yes.
feature film roles were in the Phantasm franchise. Reggie Bannister is a very talented musician, and he has a number of albums out. By the way, for those of you wondering, Reggie Bannister acted in the movie Wishmaster, which had Vern Troyer, little mini-me in it. And Vern Troyer was in the film Pauly Shore is Dead. So there's your Pauly Shore connection.
Oh, you could have.
I didn't use that one. I didn't use another good one.
You
that
probably
I had
should have,
here.
but I got it right.
Yeah,
So
you got it right, which
and
means
she's a famous vegan chef. Is she a famous vegan?
she is actually, like my brother said, there's such a thing. Yeah, she actually appears to be like the famous vegan chef.
Did you put Chloe in there because you knew that was going to trigger me?
No, I did that because I was like shocked when I looked up Coscarelli. Chloe came up, not Don, and I was like, "How many freaking Coscarellis are there?" And I'm looking, and it's like one vegan recipe book after another. I look up her Wikipedia. First thing it says, yeah, Don Coscarelli's daughter. Like, my God.
Talking about.
That
Look at
is
that score.
unusual.
Look at that
So
score.
you are a full 10 ahead, but you have not mathematically eliminated me.
No,
and
I
I
know.
know at least one of the films that you've assigned to me sucks ass. So
Tim, what is with the language tonight?
it really
Aren't
a
you
lot of your
impressed-
movies.
Aren't you impressed how I just
I
picked
am
apart your trivia?
impressed. I'm impressed. Hey everybody, guess what's coming next week? We've all been looking forward to this matchup. It's the Karate Kid
Wait.
versus Alligator.
Time out. Trogdor says, he got it wrong. Did I get the trivia question wrong?
No, you said the incorrect one was Kathy Lester,
Okay,
and
all right.
that was in fact incorrect.
Okay, well, it's just Trogdor. He's keeping track of things.
Wait a minute. You said Kathy Lester
What was wrong?
was wrong.
Did you give? Did you
That
have all
was
true?
his only.
Did you just
Did
have
I?
all true answers?
Did I have all true?
You
Did
should
I do that
You
wrong?
should lose points for just that.
Did I do that wrong?
Yeah, I think you did.
Were they all true?
I think.
Shit. Well, then you get the 5 points because I screwed up, so it doesn't matter.
Look at this. You're right. All phantasms.
Yeah, they're all fantastic.
No, what's this wiki little
That's
girl?
a video. That's a video. That's
Oh,
not a feature film. I screwed up, everybody.
Holy cow!
So Jeff just got 5 points for fun. All right. So anyway,
Bannister
correct.
was wrong. He says Bannister was wrong.
yeah.
So you did have a false one in there.
Oh, you're right.
So I got 0
You got
points.
0.
I just get points just because you can't keep track of anything.
I'm running this whole show
Okay,
over here.
here's the thing, folks. Listen, today is 420. That's why Tim's a little off. It's 420.
I'm a little baked.
He's a little baked.
I'm a little baked. All right, so the score is only 5 apart. Thank you, ref, for watching my
Yeah,
backside.
but see, this is-
I should get points for that other thing that we're not telling Jeff about yet. Okay, so
Wait, what?
get on the bases. Next week,
Yes.
you're giving me
the Karate Kid,
the karate.
Mr. Miyagi.
All right.
You know what? Karate Kid, this should bring back some great like memories of being a youth for us in the 80s.
Yeah.
This is a good movie.
Yeah.
This is a good movie. It's about karate.
It's a quintessential 80s.
And you know who's in this too that I think has aged very well? Elizabeth Shue.
Yes.
She's still very beautiful. She's a very beautiful woman.
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually her stint on CSI, I loved. She
Yes.
was really good on there. I am giving you the fantastic film Alligator. Remember in the 80s where everybody was talking about alligators in the sewers?
Yes.
Someone made a movie about it,
No way.
and it is fantastic.
Is this an 80s movie? Also?
Was it 80s? I think it
Okay.
is 80s.
All right.
It's great. This was, if it wasn't on the first VHS tape we ever owned, it was on the second one. We recorded it off like channel 18 or 24, had it on, and I think we even, what we called edited it. So we were watching the movie and we would pause it when it was commercials. And We used to watch this movie.
Get out of here. Did you?
Over
Wow.
and over. It's so much fun. And my brother is very excited. Okay, 1980. My brother is very excited because he's only ever seen the version of the movie that was
you
put
guys-
on television, not the original theatrical cut.
Nice.
So we're going to watch the theatrical cut, and they have a lot of fun. So
I'm looking forward to it. I kind of am. Sounds like something that's up my alley.
Hey, I'm getting word that Susie Snowflake can connect the Karate Kid to Pauly Shore.
Well, I guess I won't be using that for my trivia next week.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Susie.
Jeez.
I need all the help I can get, obviously, because I can't count. Though I was counting something during Jeff's review. I just can't remember what. Anyway, want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We have a great show lined up for you next week.
We do.
And we have a lot of great stuff to tell everybody about.
We do.
And want to thank everybody. I guess we're to that point in the show where we close the crypt and we call the game. Thank you for watching, and remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, any of the fine places you find podcasts. And remember, if it's sports, it's a home run. But if it's horror, run home! We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time. Dude.
I don't know. It's April 20th. People should know what day it is.
The people that are celebrating it don't know what day it is.
That's true.
And I don't know what a right or a wrong answer is anymore. I need to rest.
Yeah,
I need to rest.
I don't know. I should get something for that. I should, for my honesty.
I already gave you a point for the cigarette smoking athlete.
You wanted to give the show an 8 anyways. You know it. You like that movie.
Hey, it's a good movie.
It is.
It's a good movie. I've not seen it before, which is
Neither did I.
surprising for you because I'm such a movie fanatic.